Hey everyone, I'm super excited to bring you my interview with Cory. Cory had horrible medical anxiety. She was running to doctors all the time, not sleeping at night, not spending time with her friends. And in just 3 sessions, that was all behind her. In fact, she didn't even come for her third session. By the third session, she said, Look, I don't have my anxiety anymore. I know it's not coming back. So this is Cory's story. I can't wait to share it with you. At what point in the process of what we did together did you feel like, wow, this is different? This is helping me?
The first session. And I just remember sitting there crying during it because I was like, I just felt something different. Never cried during therapy, never felt like I had a breakthrough. But I remember the first session I sat there, I'm like, okay, I think this is going to work for me. And I was blessed. So
Nice.
yes.
Hello there. I'm here with Cory, and Cory is a superstar. So you went through this amazingly, and it was such a transformation for you. What were you struggling with before we met?
So I was really struggling with health anxiety. I'd had the issues with that since I was a kid. Always believed something was always wrong with me, no matter how much my friends and family would convince me that that wasn't the case. And every doctor, every general practitioner, all the different specialists I went to would always tell me there was nothing wrong with you, but I physically always felt like there was something wrong with me. And once I did find out that specific thing I thought was wrong with me wasn't wrong with me, I would come up with another thing that was wrong. So I was really struggling with it this past year. A lot of life changes that were happening. Personally, there were great things, but I think that really triggered more anxiety than I thought I actually had.
Wow. What did it feel like to constantly feel like something was wrong with you and go through all those tests and all that time and I guess sleepless nights? What was that like? What did that feel like?
It was exhausting. I experienced a lot of brain fog from it just because I didn't realize how much anxiety was, affecting my body and my mind. I was always tired, fatigued. I didn't really have a lot of motivation, and I love working out and being active. And when my anxiety was really, really bad, I realized I wanted to sit at home. I didn't want to go out and see my friends. I just wanted to, be in myself in my brain because I was like, there's something wrong with me. So it was a lot of stress.
Hey guys, studies are showing that 68% of people that watch podcasts regularly don't click the subscribe button. Do me a huge favor. If you like this content, click subscribe so other people know where to go for the cool stuff. Thank you.
And what had you tried? I mean, you obviously went to a lot of doctor's visits, got a lot of data, a lot of imaging, a lot of whatever. Did you try anything mentally, emotionally to try to deal with this issue?
I didn't. Well, I will say before I came to you, I tried therapy. I went to therapy as a kid, and I was having a lot of it was anxiety in public places, and I was getting myself worked up, and my mom put me in therapy as a kid and it went away. I think I grew out of it at that point a little bit. But then this past year when I was having a lot of anxiety and went back to therapy, that did not help me whatsoever. And I think they were trying to do all of these different methods that I just didn't think it worked for me personally. So that's what I tried to. I never tried meditation. I never tried anything like that. I tried box breathing for a little bit, but that didn't help as much. But that was about it.
What type of therapies did they do with you? Was it cognitive behavioral? I see. Okay.
Cognitive behavioral therapy. And I think I needed to talk more than doing cognitive behavioral therapy. But I had a friend that went through that and worked for him, but it personally just didn't work for me.
How many sessions did you have to go through that?
I probably went to 10 or more. And I felt like it was getting worse every single time I went. And I felt like my anxiety was worse when I was there talking about it. And it just didn't work.
At what point in the process of what we did together did you feel like, wow, this is different? This is helping me?
The first session. And I just remember sitting there crying during it because I was like, I just felt something different. Never cried during therapy. Never felt like I had a breakthrough. But I remember the first session I sat there, I'm like, okay, I think this is going to work for me. And I was blessed. So
nice.
yes.
And what does your life feel like now?
Great. I mean, it's great. I was talking this morning, I'm like, I'm just running around like crazy, getting things done. And it feels awesome. And I just know from our sessions that everything is the way it's supposed to be. And I need to remember and mentally tell myself that you're healthy, strong, and there's nothing else you need to know other than that. So
Nice to have your future match your past, because you have an amazing athletic past. You've achieved so much, and it's nice to have those match up, isn't it?
It's a hit us. It's a relief.
So what would you say to somebody, because a lot of times people are like, oh, that's kind of weird, that's scary, you know, I'm getting all relaxed and, you know, having better access to my subconscious mind. What was that experience like for you?
It was scary for me at first. And I think it was just because as a hypochondriac, I'm always thinking, oh my goodness, what's happening to my mind? And I start getting nervous. But then once I realized, you know, this is a good thing, I just started to relax. And it took me a second to like open up to it because I was just out of my comfort zone. But then once I sat back and relaxed and understood what was happening to my mind, I was like, okay, Cory, breathe, you're fine. And then everything just started working, which it was amazing.
Yeah. What was it like listening to the customized audio that I made for you each and every night?
It was great. It was relaxing. It really helped me just zen out. And I remember when you first emailed me, like, make sure you listen to this and get used to this recording beforehand. So I did. And then at first I'm like, okay, this is interesting. And then once you did it in person, it really clicked for me. And then I did it going forward. So
It's awesome. So if you were to pick up the phone and talk to Cory 3 months before we met and say, you know, hey, you might want to check this out, what would you say?
oh, I would have said it like, okay, I'm going right now. I'm going right now. I'm not.
How would you convince that earlier Cory? What would Cory need to hear at that time to say, oh, this is something I want to try?
I think I just needed to be road myself to understand I needed help. And there was something that needed to be improved on in the way I was currently doing things, which was reaching out to my friends and family for reassurance, just wasn't doing it anymore. And I think I needed to just hear myself say that to know it was time to reach out.
That's awesome. Well, thank you so much for coming. I adore you. You're amazing. It's such a pleasure to be able to be a stepping stone in your life for better stuff.
And you're a blessing to me more than you know. So thank you.
So sweet. And if this video is helpful for you, please click the like and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next video. This podcast is intended for the purpose of providing information and education. It does not provide advice and is not meant to be used for any self-diagnosis or the replacement of any kind of licensed professional. The creators and individuals appearing here do not endorse any specific tests, positions, medications, products, or procedures. The views and opinions expressed in this podcast are of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of any entities they represent.